What's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I want to give you guys my current take on Marathon Patent Group stock, or ticker symbol MARA. So this stock took a trip to the moon today. The stock's on absolute fire. I'm bummed that I did not make an analysis video sooner. I did mention this stock in yesterday's Sunday Stock Watch, talked about it in Friday's Trading Week recap, and I did send it out to the newsletter and talked about it in my portfolio about a week ago, so early last week. So congratulations if you guys caught this prior to this move up. Again, I'm bummed I didn't get this out prior to a big move up. But better late than never, and it might sound crazy, but I'm honestly still bullish on MARA on the long term. I need to establish that off the bat, okay? I'm bullish on this as well as Riot, both Bitcoin miners, because I'm bullish on Bitcoin long term. I am bullish on MARA long term. Now, the short term is a lot more up in the air, okay? It's going to be a lot more volatile, and I will talk to you guys about kind of the short, medium, and long-term time frames. We'll take a look at the charts, let you guys know what I'm thinking in regard to price action on all those different time horizons. But I do want to let you guys know that I am bullish on MARA in the long term. Okay, again, the short term is going to be a lot more volatile. That's to be expected. So we'll talk about that. We will also talk about, let me float my face. Sorry about that. So we will also take a look at MARA's website. You guys know I like to do that when I make these analysis videos. I just took a look at MARA's website. I will tell you right off the bat, I'm pretty disappointed in it, which is a red flag. And again, I like to look at people's websites. It shows care. It shows care about your product. It shows how you brand yourself. And so we will take a look at their website. It's very unimpressive. I'll give you guys that hint. But we'll also take a look at the investors tab and take a look at some of their recent news and press releases. So we'll take a look at that. And then I also want to talk to you guys about this article that was just released today that kind of briefly touches on MARA in regard to volume in Robinhood and shiny objects. We're in a story stock market. Okay, so again, I've been talking about that a lot. The retail trader movement, a lot of you are familiar with that at the moment. But it's very important, especially with stocks like MARA, with microcaps, with these penny stocks that are like the textbook shiny objects. Although I do believe in the fundamentals of MARA and Riot, they're these are kind of sadly, fortunately, if you play them correctly, but they are shiny object stocks, and that does come with danger. So I want to talk to you guys about that, almost a PSA. So we'll talk about that, and that's about it. I'm excited to talk to you guys about what I'm thinking in regard to price action. So before we do get into it, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and check out my complete portfolio and daily newsletter. First link in the description if you're interested. Okay, so again, you guys know the drill. We will touch on the fundamentals, and then we'll move into today's price action and what I think will happen from here on. All right, so Marathon Patent Group, again, a digital asset company. Marathon is one of the first NASDAQ-listed cryptocurrency mining companies. Let's go to look at This is such an unimpressive website. Again, you can't base by no means should you base the merit of a company or the actual financials or anything of a company on its website. Again, it just shows care of your product. It shows branding, which is realistically very important in 2020. In Marathon, if anyone from MARA is watching, you need to step up your website game 100%, because this is a bad website. Super janky, super basic. So mining blockchains are decentralized digital ledgers that record and enable secure peer-to-peer transactions without third-party intermediaries. Blockchains are secured by miners that use powerful computing networks to secure and verify each transaction. So I do actually have a video that I uploaded a while ago that got very little views. This was earlier in my YouTube career, that I talked about the Bitcoin halving, which happened back in May. So not that long ago, but nonetheless, I did make a video talking about the Bitcoin halving. It does talk about Bitcoin miners in there. So you guys can check that out if you're interested. But again, Marathon Patent Group, as well as Riot, are Bitcoin mining companies. Okay, so Bitcoin is a blockchain that needs to be validated. Okay, the way the Bitcoin blockchain is so secure is because they have hundreds of validators, these Bitcoin miners, with huge rigs that look like this around the world that validate that blockchain, and in return they get paid in Bitcoin. So that is why these companies will gain correlation with Bitcoin over time, is because if the price of Bitcoin goes up, these guys directly benefit from that because they're paid in Bitcoin for validating the Bitcoin blockchain. Okay, so we're not really going to go over this. Again, it's cool to see the pictures of all their miners. They do have, we will touch on this, they have 1,400 Bitmain Antminer S9s currently in operation in like a 27,000 square foot data center space in Quebec. Okay, and the reason they're in cold climates a lot of the time is because these things run hot. Okay, like your computer has a fan. These things need cool climates. Okay, so it's good they're in Quebec. That is reassuring. It does save a lot of money in regard to power and cooling machines if they're in a cool climate already. Okay, So that's MARA. There's not here. We'll quickly touch on this. There's really not much to touch on here. This is a young company. That mining news is the biggest news that they've released. So again, they purchased an extra 700 miners. again, as these companies scale, which this is good, just fundamentally. I remember back in 2017, like with Riot, even Mara when they popped off, the fundamentals weren't there. That was very bubbly. But now the fundamentals are way stronger for both these companies. I know I'm mentioning Riot. Sorry about that. This should be about Mara, but they're both very similar companies in the right that they're both blockchain miners. So again, this is tangible good news. This is actual progress. They're purchasing miners. They're scaling their operations in order to mine more Bitcoin. And again, the more miners you have, the more Bitcoin you can mine, the more you get paid. They did announce another share of common stock, which makes sense in this market. It's not surprising at all for especially a company at this scale. If you can get the capital through the public markets, do it. And then use that capital to your advantage. Again, purchase more miners. We will have to see how they allocate their capital. Again, this is still a young company. We'll have to see how this performs. But yeah, it's as of right now, although I am very bullish on a long term, this is still a story stock at the moment. This is not necessarily a story stock, but this is a very shiny object, and let's get to that through this. So I'll read this and then we'll get into the charts. Marathon Patent skyrockets as Robinhood traders latch on. Marathon Patent Group, Nasdaq MAR is up 90% on a huge volume spike and carved out a new high of $4.80 earlier in the session. So it ended up going even higher than that. The last news release from the company was on the purchase of next generation M31S ASIC miners from MicroBT. Users holding MAR on Robinhood more than doubled today to make the cryptocurrency stock one of the biggest movers on the platform. Okay, so that is dangerous. Okay, this is good. Again, if you're holding the stock, but this also does lead, again, when there's so much retail in the market, these kids, not necessarily kids, but these new investors, a lot of them probably pretty inexperienced, to be completely honest. They see MAR on the top movers. They're like, oh, this thing's ripping. I want a piece. And that's what causes so much fluctuation over the course of the day, okay? And that's good in the sense that it puts this on a lot of people's radars, okay? So I bet a lot of people, you have to think psychologically, you guys. I bet a lot of people today were thinking, okay, Mara, oh, that's awesome. This is moving up significantly. There's definitely potential for it to move up a lot. I'll catch this on the move down. So that's why I do think tomorrow we will see another little move up, followed by a move down the next. I'll talk to you guys about that when we get to the chart. But volume is definitely there, you guys. The interest is there, which is good, especially if Bitcoin does continue to do well. Again, more people learn about Bitcoin. More people learn about these Bitcoin mining companies, which, I mean, that's a very cool industry to have a stake in if the price of Bitcoin goes up, like I think it will. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know that this is just something to keep on your radar, to be mindful of. The fact that there's a lot of, and again, I don't want to be harsh here, but realistically, there's probably a lot of weak hands, a lot of people who are buying high and will probably panic out at some point if this stock does collapse. So remember that, you guys. Mara is a very small company with a small market cap. So let's just take a look at it straight now. We'll dive in here and I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking, all right? The exciting part. So Mara, it's funny, when I was just talking about it, it was at like a $30-something million market cap. It is now at $70 million market cap. So it's kind of catching up with Riot. Riot probably just passed 100 mil. Mara is still significantly smaller, but I do think Riot is, I will establish this now, I think Riot is they're almost objectively a better Bitcoin mining company as of right now. But yeah, Mara catching up quick. Crazy movement today. You see this huge gap up. Again, I covered this on Friday. On Friday after hours, it was up about 40% after hours. So I was expecting today to be a good day. It feels good. This shocked me, to be completely honest. I was expecting a good move today, but this is an insane move. So we saw it gap up pretty significantly, up to a high about like 30.60 at the peak hours of the day. It hit $4.80. So that is insane. It did end up closing out at about $3.80. Again, putting it at a $700 million or $70 million market cap. I'm sorry. But you guys, again, with stocks like this, and you see this volume, when we zoom out, you can really see the impact of the volume relative to like historic volume. But volume is there today. I mean, this stock, you're seeing so much volatility just over the course of the day today. And again, that's because the Robinhood traders are hopping in. People who are seeing this thing as a top mover, they're seeing this thing ripping, they want in. And again, it has a potential to rip because its market cap is so small. And I did talk about this in the video I just posted, because today, beauty of Riot, Mara, Sorrento, some of these plays that we've been talking about, it did provide me with the best day I've ever had, $20,000 just in my Robinhood account, okay, just options trading. And it provides you with days like that. It has a potential. But again, you guys, you have to be very careful with how you approach these stocks, because what goes up can come down just as easily, all right? The volatility is there. The volume's there. Again, for kids who bought up here, imagine about like all the people who bought up here sold out. Like panic sold out. This was up 100+% over the course of the day. It ended up 80. Like, that's a significant. It almost doesn't sound realistic, and like small percentages don't make a difference, but the percentage swings across the course of the day were insane. And again, but that's just what happens with these small market cap stocks. You guys remember that. That's the beauty of these small market cap stocks. They can move up extremely quick and provide you a lot of gains, a lot of returns, but they can fall just as quickly. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of chirping on this, but it's very important. You guys need to remember that. Okay, but let's talk about price action. So in terms of price action, Mara today, again, Mara up 88% today. So it almost doubled. At one point today, it over doubled. So doubled in a single day. You see volume. Let's move out a little bit here. Let's go to the 1 month. We'll go to 30-minute candles. So you can see here, again, even over the course, just like, I mean, Mara was so much in like the $1 region, I think, last week when I first talked about it in the newsletter. I mean, now it's crazy just to see what it's done in the span of like a week or two. Okay, so Mara just a week ago was at $1 at July 24th. So just over a week ago, it was around $1, and in the past week, it's almost 4x'd. So there's a few things that could happen with Mara. Again, because it's such a small market cap, because Bitcoin's doing well. I will say that this stock is going to be very reliant, at least in my opinion, on the performance of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin continues to do well, again, people put their attention to Bitcoin. They want a piece of Bitcoin miners as they learn about the Bitcoin blockchain and the mining process. They want a stake in that. There's not many Bitcoin miners out there. Mara is one of them. Mara just spiked up. It's on people's radar now. If you want a piece of a Bitcoin miner, it's likely you will put a little stake in Mara. And again, the market cap is still tiny. It doesn't take much capital. That's why it's not crazy to see this price action in Mara. It doesn't even take that much capital inflow for Mara to do this, okay? And obviously it does. Again, it skyrocketed on Robinhood today. You see crazy volume here, but it's just because it's such a small stock that it doesn't take much capital to really fluctuate the price, okay? So this is the important part. I just want to zoom out to the 5-year, and again, I have talked about this in the past. Where'd my lines go? I think my lines disappeared. Okay, but Mara, this is the important part. This is why I'm telling you guys I'm bullish long term. Look at that freaking volume. That is insane. That's insane on the weekly volume. Even when it was back here, like even in 2017, like the volume doesn't even compare. Okay, so there's so much more volume on Mara right now. Very bullish. Again, volume is bullish. Volume obviously leads to volatility and the potential of a riskier play. But volume leads, again, volume means that there's eyes on the stock, that people are becoming aware of the stock. And that makes me even more bullish on the long term. Because you can see here, just like look in the past, look what Mara is capable of. Where it's at now, even after today's doubling of price action a single day, it's a blip in the history of Mara. Okay, so I will say just a couple of levels that I'm personally looking at. Up here around like the $9 level, it did touch this area a few times. So let's draw a few lines. It did hit this high around here, around $9. A few times back in 2017 prior to absolutely exploding. And I'm going to use 2017. I'm not going to go prior to that. Just because I don't know the validity of it prior to that. Even in 2017, this was obviously bubble. You see it go up and crash down just like the rest of the cryptocurrencies. So this is a bubble. But again, there's so much more weight, not only on these stocks because they're getting Bitcoin miners, but on Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency space. The purpose that crypto and Bitcoin serve in our current economy, in this financial market where governments are printing trillions of dollars of fiat currency, and Bitcoin is an absolutely scarce asset, and we might be developing a new financial system overall. I mean, the Bitcoin cryptocurrency sector is still, I mean, Bitcoin's like a 200 something billion dollar market cap. That's tiny. That's still small in the grand scheme of the financial market. So just remember that, guys. I mean, Ether, yeah, like I can't even remember what Ether is right now. It's been so volatile. But you guys, it's still a small market. There's still so much room for growth, especially in this market where and all these newer traders, that's the beauty of newer traders. These are younger individuals. I'm sorry, I don't want to call them kids. Younger individuals who want to invest in innovational, game-changing things. And that's exactly what cryptocurrency and blockchain is. And that's why I think, to be honest, if Mara did this in 2017, if Bitcoin can pass all-time highs, which I think it will over the course of this year, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Mara get back up to these levels up here, at least $40. I mean, Mara at $3, say it's $4 now. If it 10x'd, we'd be at about a $700 million market cap. That's still sub $1 billion, okay? Mara could get to $50 per share and be at about $1 billion market cap. And again, you guys, billion in the grand scheme of these equity markets, tiny, still tiny. So again, the financials don't line up. The financials don't really line up with anything. That's the reality of this current market. I've been pissed about that for so long. But you just have to adapt. You have to adapt to the times. The reality is financials don't make sense. Progress makes sense, and future potential of a company is what really matters right now. And that's the reality. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's the objective reality. Okay. So from there, so I'm drawing this line. I don't know why the heck I just kind of fiddled around with that. But again, first price target is around $9, just because it spent, even like if you extend this over here, it did spend some time bouncing around there on the weekly. So from there, I would say the $25 mark is probably a safe bet, and you guys have to keep in mind psychological evens as well. So $9-10 probably first price target, $25 second. But again, you guys, this stock is seeing so much volume right now, and it's such a small market cap. Like this thing could even surpass that and go to $50+ pretty easily with this amount of volume, with this amount of eyes on it, with this amount of retail traders in the market wanting to invest in cool revolutionary things. I mean, this is not financial advice, you guys. Keep in mind, Mara could very well tank. I'm bullish on the long term. I think if Bitcoin reaches new all-time highs, which I'm very confident will by the end of this year, Mara will also reach new all-time highs as well. So you can see, let's zoom out just a little further on Mara. You can see here what it's done. So again, you guys have to keep in mind, like, I don't even know, like it could have been a completely different like position at this point. Like the amount of stock in circulation was probably completely different. So it was at $150 at one point. So just keep that in mind, you guys. But I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't be like a $150 Mara, even though that's, I mean, what is that, like a 25, I mean, that's like a 30 plus X from here. It gets crazy. I don't even want to get into that, but it is possible. The market cap of Mara is so freaking small that the sky really is the limit. Again, you guys, the short term, let's talk about the short term. So that's long term. So I was harping on the long term for a while. Let's talk about the short term. Okay. So what I'm thinking will happen over the course of this week. Okay. And again, you guys remember, this could very well not play out. It's crazy. See how when we zoom out like that and then go to like even the 30-minute chart, this is absolutely nothing historically in terms of what Mara has done in the past. Okay. So, if you guys have tuned in the videos before, you guys know my good old two-wave theory. Especially in this market, I've seen the two-wave theory play out so many times. Biotech, crypto, a lot of the plays that we've been talking about on the channel over the course of the past few months. You see this kind of build up to a parabolic move, all right? So you see this build up, it's just waiting to break out. Boom, you see the breakout. This is what I expected to happen. Greater than expected, to be completely honest, but again, Mara just looked like it was getting ready to break out. You see this insane spike in volume cause that parabolic price action. You see the bubble up here pop, which the bubble kind of already popped in midday trading, okay? And it makes sense to see a pullback here. It wouldn't surprise me. At the most, if we see a pullback to where it gapped up, maybe probably around here, around like maybe the $3 region. That also kind of lines up with this, what is that? That also lines up with the 21 EMA, so that kind of makes sense as well. That's a good place to that's a good EMA to use as support and resistance. So that does kind of line up just a $3 region with that with a 20 EMA. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a bounce around $3, but it's very rare, you guys, to see a move up like this not followed by at least somewhat of a move up tomorrow. Again, people are going to hear about it today. People are going to look into it. They're going to want a piece of it. And it already saw a pretty significant correction from the highs midday. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see another move up in Mara, and then another like 10-15% move up maybe. And then Wednesday or Thursday, we'll probably see some people take profits. And we will probably see a dip on Wednesday or Thursday. And then Friday, people are just going to be bullish on it again and then buy. You guys remember, this could absolutely not play out at all. This is just kind of intuitively, instinctively just playing things like this, playing bubbles like this, playing shiny objects like this for a long time now. Personally, this is what I kind of intuitively think will happen. But the important thing is, you guys, if you're bullish on the prospects of Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining like I am, then just like, not financial advice, but it's never a bad idea just to dollar cost average. So every time you see a dip, bullish on something long term, every time you see a dip, buy a little bit, and then just dollar cost average into your position and build a position over time, and just buy on the dips. Buy the dips, sell the rips at some point in time. But again, I'm very bullish on the future potential of Mara. The short term, it's a lot harder to tell. There's definitely going to be volatility. Remember, you guys, what goes up will come down to some extent at some point. Obviously, when is hard to tell. But know that my money's on the long term, you guys. I did take some profits personally today. But I mean, I still hold the far majority of my position in Mara, and I am bullish on it long term. I still think it has a long way to go. Just again, looking at the historical data of it, you know where this thing has a potential to go. And again, Bitcoin popping. Bitcoin, I mean, at $11,000, I wouldn't be surprised again to see a 20K plus Bitcoin in the near future. And again, the more the price of Bitcoin goes up, the more money Mara and Riot and stocks like that make. And again, the more attention is paid, the more Bitcoin goes up, the more attention is on Bitcoin. We're in a market of attention. Okay, whoever has the attention, and this is inevitably, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, innovational, world-changing technology, and people right now love innovational, world-changing technologies. Okay, so. Again, you guys, if you want to know exactly how I'm personally trading Mara, when I'm exiting, when I'm adding to my position, if that's the case, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. First link in the description. Again, I did shout this out on my newsletter about a week ago. Shameless plug, because this, I mean, if you got it in this is a very rare situation, you guys. And I want you guys to understand that it's rare to see this. If you miss this, though, never, like, there's always going to be stocks like this. There's always rippers. There's always stocks that do this. But again, I'm fundamentally bullish on both Mara and Riot and the Bitcoin cryptocurrency blockchain sector as a whole. So it makes me very happy to see this. Again, expect some volatility in the short to midterm. That's to be expected. Probably in the long term too. It's a small stock. Expect volatility. But I'm bullish on the long term. I just want to get that a point across and articulate that. But yeah, if you want to know exactly how I'm trading it, complete portfolio daily newsletter, first link in the description, exactly as it states, complete breakdown of all call options, all put options, all stock positions, all cryptocurrencies. And along with that, I do send out a newsletter every trading day during market hours, rationalizing my thoughts, talking about why I'm making the trades I'm making, and just giving you guys my current thoughts on the general markets, cryptocurrency markets overall. So check that out if you're interested at all. If not, no worries. And please feel free to ask me any questions about Mara. If you are holding Mara, or if you're excited about any other companies within the sector, please share. Always love learning from you guys. Always love talking shop with you guys. So talk to you guys down there. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace. Later.